there everyone. I am so hoping that some of you got this paper pumpkin this time, because this particular paper pumpkin, and this is the one for August, and it's called Sweet Sunflowers, and I'm going to take out everything and show it to you, and then I'm going to cut away. I'm going to bring in some other products, and we're going to see how many cards that we can make from this paper pumpkin, because I think the possibilities are endless. I have refrained from watching videos of other people because I wanted to kind of let my own creativity flow with this particular kit, but I'm going to open the box and show you what comes in. If you're not familiar with paper pumpkin, it is a subscription that's offered through Stampin' Up, and I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. It is like a surprise. If you sign up, you're billed each month, like the middle of the month, the 10th of the month is when they bill you, because that's the cutoff date. If you want the one for the following month, you have to sign up by the 10th of that month. And then they're mailed out, and I usually get mine around the 18th, 19th, something like that. But when you open your box, everything is wrapped in a beautiful little wrapper. Now I've taken everything out so that I'd have it ready to show you, but you get a little thing in here that tells you make the most of your free gift, and they tell you some different things, and maybe sometimes they add a little extra, which they did in this one, and that on the other side it also tells you what's coming next month. So I believe this one will be the October, and this will be November. We always get September and October. We always get them a month in advance, so that way you have time enough to make your cards and get them out to the folks that you want to have. You get this beautiful little instruction sheet, and the instruction sheet is a lot of information on it. It shows you the cards as they expect you to make them. Of course, you know me, I'm going to go rogue and make it my way. You have this little get started. It shows you everything in your kit. It gives you some ideas. You also have paperpumpkinhowto.com, where you can scan that with your smartphone, and it will take you, it tells you everything that's in your kit, and it also tells you the coordinating colors right there. A lot of information in this little booklet or pamphlet. When you open it up, you have card 1, card 2, and card 3. You also get a ruler along here that's 18-inch ruler, which is very nice if you don't have a grid mat or the grid paper. This is a great way. What they intend for these kits to be is something that you can take with you and not need anything else. And your very first kit you get will have a stamp block in it, and it's not our original size stamp block. It is a little bit thinner than the traditional, but it is stamped paper pumpkin, and they are like this. It's a really nice little acrylic block. Now for me, I prefer my regular acrylic blocks because it's what I've gotten used to. So I usually pull out this. I like this because it's thicker. You have this indentation for your thumbs. I love that. So I usually pull one of those out. All right, back to what we get. This time they included 2 stamping spots. Normally you get 1. So that was something a little extra. So we have our instructions, we have our 2 ink spots, we have a really cute little stamp set. Let me get a piece of white paper to put behind it. You get a sunflower, you get the center, you get some leaves and sprigs, a couple of different bees, and then some sentiments. Always a nice little stamp set that comes with that. We have some glue dots and some Stampin' Dimensionals. These are the minis. This is gorgeous. I'm going to set this over here so I can spread everything out. Here's our envelopes. Aren't they gorgeous? And you get, let's see if I can count them really quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's usually enough to make 3 of each design. So that's 9 envelopes. You also get, let me see if I can get these out. I got them in the bottom, so I'm going to show you the card bases. You get 9 card bases. And again, you get 3 of each design. So there's 3 of that solid green. You get 3 of this beautiful pattern. And they made these so that they have a front and a back. But you know me, I'm going to go rogue with these because they are so pretty. Look how gorgeous this is. And you get 3 like that. So, as I said, they are absolutely stunning. And then you get these laser cut pieces. These are so cute. You've got bumblebees and you've got flowers and you've got the sunflower. All you have to do here is just stamp the middle in and you're good to go. You also get some of these little grids, and these are made in silver foil. They're beautiful. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 or 9. I think it's 8 of those. And then you also get in vellum these little hibs in here as well, and this is all in vellum, and these are laser cut, so they just pop out. You need to be careful when you're taking them out, but they do just pop out. Then you, oh, these are so pretty. You also get 3, yeah, 3, I left one in there, 3 of these that are already laser cut. And you want to talk beautiful, I mean, it would be a card if you took one of these, fold it, put this on it, stamp a sentiment right there, and you've got an automatic beautiful card. But that's the way Stampin' Up! Does these kits. They make them so easy that anybody, if you have a teen or a preteen, or maybe even younger, depending on how artistic they are, this would be a great way to get them into card making. Order a paper pumpkin for them. We also get this little sheet of label dies, and these are all laser cut, so they just pop right out, and then you can put them on your card. So cute, so versatile, and so easy to use. So that's everything that came in our kit, and you can see it's jam-packed with so many goodies and so many wonderful things. I cannot wait. Now what I want to do, like I said, is see how many cards I can make from one of these kits. And I think it's going to be so much fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut away. I'm going to go and gather up all my supplies that I want to do and use to make these cards. And then when we get back together, I'll show you exactly what my plan is with this month's paper pumpkin called Sweet Sunflower. I'll be right back and we'll get started. Okay, I am back, and I have gone ahead and pulled the colors that they suggested on our little instruction sheet, and those colors are Pumpkin Pie, Night of Navy, Rich Razzleberry, Crushed Curry, Evening Evergreen, Mambo Melody, I think, Soft Suede, and Mossy Meadow. And these are the colors that we're going to find in. Now when I was looking at these, I see in some of them I see some Calypso Coral, but I'm going to stick with the orange and the pink, which these two colors together kind of gives you that look of a coral. So anyway, I just pulled one sheet of each. Am I going to use all of this? Probably not, but I just wanted to show you what our options are. So I'm going to lay these over here. I can get them to stay. Let's put them under here. What I did is I also got some cardstock. I got a couple of sheets of just the basic white, and I have about 4 sheets of the basic white thick. I like to make my card bases out of that, so that's a card base that I've made, and we'll use this to make some more. Again. Now I cut down one of my envelopes, and let me show you what I did. I took one of my envelopes and I cut the top off of it, and I have it stuck over, no, it's right here. I'm going to trim this down to use on a regular envelope, that we will decorate our envelope to work with this. But so I'm going to save that, and then what I did is after I cut that off, I cut the edges off of my envelope on both sides, just barely a little bit, and then it gave me my front panel. And then what I did with my front panel was I cut it down here, here, yeah, that's not right, here and here and here. Yeah, like that. And that's how I cut my envelope down. And that gives me 1, 2, 3 panels to work with. Now I also see Gorgeous Grape in here. And I still see Calypso Coral. We could use Gorgeous Grape, but they're calling for us to use the Rich Razzleberry. But if you are a Gorgeous Grape kind of girl, by all means grab that. We still have this piece. Now this piece has these little edges on it. We can try to pull those off if we can. Just be very gentle. And we have this panel now that we can cut. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this off right here and bring it over to about there. And this is going to give me another piece to use on a card. So from one envelope, you can cut that down in so many different ways. So I'm going to cut some more cardstock, and when I come back, I'm going to show you how I'm going to use these pieces to put a card together. This is going to be so much fun. Be right back. Alright, I'm back, and what I did, I had to go and look and see what that Gorgeous Grape would look like with that, and look how beautiful. So look at your paper when you get a paper pumpkin, and even though the suggestions that they use, sometimes you will see colors in there that will go that were not mentioned as the coordinating colors. I love this. I did use it on a mat of crushed curry, so we're going to center everything up like that. I'm going to grab some linen thread because I think that will give it a nice little look. So what I'm going to do, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and glue this piece down to here. So we're just going to put a little bit of glue, and you can use your Stampin' Seal or two-sided tape, but I'm just going to use a tiny bit of glue. And then I want to center this up on this piece nice and even, or as even as we can get it. There you go. And then I want to wrap a little bit, and I think I have one that's already open. Let me look. I do. I have a couple of them that are open, so I'm going to grab this one. Thought I did. And what I want to do is I want to bring this up and around here. I'll tell you what, let's wrap it on a couple of times. Let's pull that up and then 2. That'd be good. And then I'm going to use my snips, if I can find them. Or, here we go. I'm just going to snip this off right about here. And then I'm going to just pull that just ever so slightly. And I'm going to bring it up and just tie this in to a nice, I don't want to bring it to the side. Maybe I'll bring it over here. And I'm just going to make it a simple, very simple little bow. I'm going to cut this end off a little bit. And the linen thread is so nice because you can't do a bad bow with linen thread. It's just the easiest stuff ever to work with, and it kind of curls in different directions, and I love the way it works. And I might put a glue dot under it, but let's get everything down first. So on the back, I'm going to put a little bit of Stampin' Seal, just a little over top of, better yet, I'm going to use my Tried and True, because I'm going to put Stampin' Dimensionals on this. So I'm just going to take a piece of Scotch tape just to anchor that on the back so that it's not moving. And let's get some Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'm going to use full size. And we're going to pull these off, and we're going to put one on each corner. And then maybe one right here. and one right there. And then I'm just going to lift these off using my Take Your Pick tool. You can use your fingernails if you prefer. I just like being able to get these all kind of wrangled up together. And then we're going to bring this around and let's put that right there. And this piece here measures 3 3/4 by 5. So we're going to take this piece and just kind of center this up right in the middle. And look how pretty that is. And then we're going to take and put the whole thing on a white card base. And look how, I mean, it's simply stunning. Then we have this little tag. We're going to stamp our sentiment on here. And I pulled out the one from the stamp sets for a one-of-a-kind friend. So I'm going to use some Memento ink. And I'm going to ink this up really good. And I'm going to get my Stampin' Pierce mat. Just set that down right there. Something like that. I don't feel like I'm getting that straight. I'm going to let that sit on there just for a minute. I really want that ink to transfer. And then we'll drop it. I love it. And then we can bring this back over and we're going to pop this up right here on the corner. So I'm going to put glue on here. Get this glued down. And then I think I'm going to pop this up on a dimensional. And then this is going to go right about here. Just like that. And there is one card made that's totally different than anything that they suggested in Paper Pumpkin. I love that. I think it turned out really, really super cute. And when we get ready to send it, you can just write a note inside, or you can put a mat down. I think it would be beautiful to put a purple mat and then do the gold or the crushed curry, the gorgeous grape, the crushed curry, and then you could stamp on the crushed curry. It would be beautiful. Or you could just write your message in there. Okay, one down, and how many more can we do? Let's find out. All right, let me gather my wits and clean my stamps and everything, and I'll gather the stuff that I need for my next one, and we'll be right back. Okay, for our card number 2, I have gone ahead and got everything ready, and I'm going to show you what we did. Again, I have a card base of the basic white thick, cut at 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And for my mat, I have I always get this one. I don't know why I can't get it. Melon Mambo, and this is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. Standard size mat for the front of our card. And then I cut a piece of the crushed curry. This was actually a piece I had left over, and it measures about 3 5/8 by 3 1/2. And I ran it through my embossing folder, the one that's called Hive, made it look like a little beehive. So we're going to just sit this down right in the middle of that. I had those envelope that I cut down. This is one of the panels that I had left over from where I cut for the other card that I made. This right here was an envelope, and the pieces that was left over, I have this one. This one measures 4 by 1 7/8. And what I did is I'm mounting it on a piece of Mossy Meadow, and this is just 1/8 of an inch bigger. So you can cut yours whatever size you like, but I just cut mine just 1/8 of an inch bigger. So I'm just going to use some glue, and I am going to put glue all over the back of this one. I don't want a whole lot of glue because I am using that envelope paper and it's thin. And then I'm going to center this onto this piece. Let's see, this is going to be tricky because we've got small borders and we're working with a small piece of paper. So I'm going to bring it up to the top, get it positioned about like I want it. And press that down. And then this piece is going to go on right about there. And then we have a sentiment, and I used the stamp thank you out of our little stamp set that we got with the paper pumpkin this time. And I'm going to put the thank you right about there, and we'll probably pop that up. Let's go ahead and glue everything down and see how this card's going to look. So some liquid glue on the back of my mat. Like so. Then I'm going to take this piece, and if you notice on this piece and this yellow piece, or the crushed curry, I took some of the little bumblebees that comes in our kit, and I popped them up on mini dimensionals, and I put 2 here and 1 on here. So I figured that was a good thing to already have that on, so I would know how I wanted to position everything. And of course you can always wait and put those on last if you like. Totally up to you. And I'm going to center this right about like that. Now we have this piece that we're going to put down, and I want to bring it in just a little bit because I want this hive to show over here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put glue on the back of this one. And again, you can use your Stampin' Seal, you can use two-sided tape, use any kind of adhesive that you prefer. You know, this is on crooked. Oh well, I think it's a little bit too late now. Let's see if we can reposition. No, that's too late. It has already gotten into the stage of no return. That's okay. I always say that handmade cards are just that. They're not cookie cutters. They're not cut off out of a machine. They are something that you create using your own 2 hands. So if there's some imperfections in them, it shows that we are human. I'm going to take a couple of these mini glue dots and put right there. And we're going to come all the way over. So I think it's going to take about 4 of these little ones to put this down on. And I think I'm going to put this right about in the middle, just like that. And there we have card 2. Now if you want to add some gems, you most certainly can. So let's see what we have that would look really good on this one. Nope. Let's look at these. I think we might be able to use, these are the Glossy Dot assorted gems, and I'm thinking that these ones right here will look really good on the pink. And there we go. These are very flat and they work really well on a card. So there is card number 2. We'll be right back with number 3. Okay, for card number 3, I chose one of the elements out of the paper pumpkin, and this is beautiful. It's just a complete insert, or not an insert, but just a card mat. And I put it on the crushed curry, and I thought it needs something because it just doesn't pop. So I took one of the other card bases and I cut it down. So now I have 2 of these, and this one measures 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 because I wanted just that tiny little bit of the crushed curry to show. So I'm going to put glue on this, and we're just going to adhere this down to the card base, and the card base is a crushed curry. So I'm gonna open up our card and see if we can get this on here as close to perfect as we can. That looks pretty good. What do you think? So now on this one, I'm going to use some large dimensionals, and I want to put this here's my big pack. 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to put one here, one here, one right there, one here, one here, kind of looks like an overkill, but I want enough of them to hold this in place. And then we're going to set this right down. Making sure, you know, I should have stamped first. Oh, goodness. It's too late now. Alright, we'll just regroup. Not a big deal. I meant to stamp before I put this on, but it's okay. Yeah, it's going to be hard to stamp there now. What I was going to do was going to stamp that directly on, but not a big deal. What we'll do, let me grab a piece of, I think we can probably do that on here. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to stamp it, and then we're going to fussy cut it. Stamp that down just like that. And then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to come in and cut this off. And I'm going to cut right across the top, leaving just a tiny bit. And then I'm going to come around and around. They call this bubble cutting. And now we have our little sentiment that we can pop up right there, and I think I like that because it kind of pops it. So sometimes a mistake can be a happy mistake, and I think that time it was just that. Now let's see if this is big enough to hold a regular dimensional, and it looks like it is. Alright, and I'm going to set this right up here like that, and then I want to decide whether I want one of the little bumblebees. We got a lot of the bumblebees, which I thought were so cute, and I think I am, and I'm going to glue him straight down. So I'm just going to take a little bit of glue and put a dot right there, and I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool so that I can position him exactly where I want him. Just like that. And now we have our third card is done. So we're coming along. Okay, we'll be right back and I'll have everything together for card number 4. Alright, for our next card, I took one of these card bases. You can see that you have 2 sides to these cards. Now, I think they intended for it to be a front and a back, but I say, why waste a beautiful card base when you can get 2 cards out of one? So that's what I did. I went ahead and cut down this piece, and I just basically, when they were together, I trimmed the fold off where I only took a minute amount off, and then I trimmed this one down, watching very closely where I was trimming because I didn't want to trim off my flowers. So I trimmed a little here and a little here and a little bit here and a little bit here, and that gave me my mat that I need for this card. And I'm using my card base as Rich Razzleberry, and I thought that it popped so pretty on this. So I was playing around with what to do for a sentiment, and I thought, how cute would it be to put a little ribbon tail label on here. So what I did is I just cut a strip that is 1 inch, and I believe it's 1 inch by 3 inches. And all I did is I just did a ribbon cut right here. I basically cut up the middle, and then I went from each corner to the center and just pulled it out. I also adhered a piece of linen thread that I tied in a little makeshift bow, and I did this right off of the side, and we're going to trim this down a little bit after we get it on a card. But what I want to do is I want to put it right about here, and I want to keep a little bit of that blue showing right there because I think it's so pretty. So now I'm going to cut these tails off just a little bit, something like that. Now all we need to do is put glue on the back of this, and we'll have another beautiful card. Simple, easy, and yet elegant. And I may go ahead and make the 3 that the paper pumpkin instructions tell you to do. Oh, so pretty. That really pops on that rich raspberry. I love it. So there is our next card. So we've done 4 cards, and these are 4 alternatives to our regular paper pumpkin designs. So this is where you can let your creativity go wild just by, I'm trying to get my pen back in my glue and I can't walk and chew gum. But this is showing you the versatility of the Paper Pumpkin kit. Now, if you haven't subscribed to Paper Pumpkin and you're interested, there's a link in my blog, and all you have to do is click on that. It will take you directly to the site. You can sign up there. When it asks for your demonstrator, make sure you choose me. If not, it will choose a random person. And there's nothing wrong with that either, but if you want to come in under me and help me out, then by all means do pick that particular one. Well, there's our offering for today. I think they turned out beautiful. I love each and every one of them. I hope that you did. When we come back in our next video, I may go ahead and do the 3 cards that are laid out for the Paper Pumpkin. This way you can get an idea of what they wanted to do versus what I did here with my pieces. So God bless and keep you, and as I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring glory to our Father in heaven. He is worthy. Until we craft again, God bless and keep you. Bye-bye.